Today we're looking at Frozen Flame, an open world exploration game including crafting and combat. Earn experience, unlock abilities, and survive either on your own or with friends. This game has only just been released, so it is a great time to try it out. A link to the Steam page is in the description, but for now, let's go through a beginner guide. Now, this game is very fun, but when you first start out, it can be a little difficult, especially with the combat aspects. And so today I'm going to give you a guide that if you follow, you'll get off to a great start and you'll enjoy this game all the more. So this is where you start off in the game, and the first thing that we're going to do is run along to the little yellow mark we can see there on the screen, and that's an NPC that we want to interact with. On the way, however, we're going to pick up anything we see, and if you see something that's glowing blue like this right here, that means you can go ahead and pick it up. You want to make sure you pick up absolutely everything you see in the game. The reason for this is you are going to need all of these resources, especially early in the game, as it can be a little difficult to get things quickly. As well as glowing blue, you'll see things like this, and we can go ahead and hold down E to harvest these. And you'll see a few of these around in the game, so do keep your eyes out for anything that's glowing blue or anything that looks a bit like this where you might be able to pick it up, and if you can pick it up, then do. So we've picked up a load of things and we've made it to this NPC right here, so then let's go and press E so that we can talk to him. So I've skipped the dialogue, but once you speak to him, you get a little thing in the top right there, and it tells us we need to craft a stone axe and sweep the cursed camp. So if you press tab, you open up your crafting menu, and if we click craft right here, then we see there is the stone axe. Just one branch and 2 stone are required to make it, and when you're ready to make it, go ahead and double left click. It's important that you do this straight away before you venture off, because when you reach enemies, you want to be able to both block and attack them, and the axe is going to be used for that. Now, if we go ahead and press M, we can open up our map, and we can scroll in using the mouse wheel to get a better look. If I left click on this yellow help the Hornhead quest right here, you'll see all yellow icons are removed from the map. However, if I click again, they go back on, and this question mark you see to the left here is where we need to head in order to complete the quest. If I escape out of that and I look here, you'll see that this is what we need to head to. So this sort of beacon of light right here is showing us the way for the quest. So we're going to head there now, and we're going to keep picking up things we see along the way, but first of all, let me talk about a couple things. So you'll notice these guys right here. Now, these are passive during the day unless you hit them first, or if you go ahead and activate this thing over here. Now, if this is activated, we can go ahead and get an extra flame point, and I'm going to talk about that later on, but I don't recommend you do that before we go and complete the first quest. So over here is the cursed camp that we need to go and kill all the mobs at. So let's walk up to it and they'll start to spawn in. So when they spawn in, go and attack the bow artist first, the guy that's got the bow, because we want to kill him before he can range us too much. Now, when he's killed, we can then just walk away and regen our stamina a little bit. You'll see the stamina is in the green in the lower part of the screen. So when I'm hitting here, I'm using up my stamina. Now, to fight one of these guys, just go ahead and right click so you're blocking, let him try to hit you, and then just go nuts on him and hit him as many times as you can. And there we go. We managed to kill him without taking any damage. I did take a little bit of damage in that entire fight, but that was mostly when I was attacking the archer and he was able to get me from behind. Be sure to press E and to loot these enemies once you kill them. So we'll loot that guy right there, and we'll also loot this guy right here. You don't want to worry about looting them until both of them have been killed, because otherwise obviously the other one will attack you while you're looting them. Also, be sure to smash up these crates with your axe while you're here, and you might get yourself some extra loot. So here we got some stone, we got a luminous apple, and actually I think that's it, but you can get all different things from this. The other thing to be sure to do is to open up this chest right here and get the loot from inside, which is the backpack plus 30 coins. So now we have all of the stuff from that cursed camp. We're going to go ahead and run back to the quest guy, and again this is shown in a yellow beacon. So we just go back and talk to this guy again, and he's pretty happy and gives us a reward, plus we get another quest. Now this one says we need to place a bonfire and cook some food. So if we press tab and go to the craft menu, then we can see these recipes right here. Now if I left click on a recipe, it will go ahead and unlock it. So this is the bonfire right here, and if I double left click, then I'll be able to place this down in the world. However, as you can see, we do need to get another stone first, as we're one short. So once we have that stone, we can go ahead and left click on the craft menu again, and this time double left click, and we'll be able to place down a bonfire. And I recommend you do this nice and close to this trader over here that we're going to be interacting with on a regular basis. Now, to activate the bonfire and to cook on it, we do need logs. You see there 0 out of 5 logs. It says it's in a bit grey, but you can just kind of see it. So to get those, we run up to a tree with our axe and we just chop away at it, and this will eventually fell, and then we get the logs from it. And then we can go over here and just hold down E in order to add logs to the fire. And once that's added, you just tap E whilst looking at the fire, and you can drag whatever items you have here up into here and then hit cook. So we put an apple up there and we're cooking it. It's shown on the right hand side, and boom, it's been done, and we can collect this right here, which is the fruit dessert. If we open our inventory by pressing tab and click on that, then we can see here that we get a health regen of 1 and a bonus health of 25. So this is going to be quite useful to us throughout the game, and we're going to need to do a lot of cooking in order to help us with the combat. But for the first fruit salad we make, we have to go ahead and give it to Hornhead and get another quest from him, which, as you can see, regards placing a workbench on a floor and crafting up a stone pickaxe. So back to the craft menu, and this one right here is the workbench. So we can left click again to unlock that, but we're going to need 6 logs and 2 stone before we can make it. So once again, you're going to look around and try and find some stone, and you're going to chop down trees in order to get the logs. So once you have the materials, if you try to craft down a workbench, you'll see that it says it can only be placed on a floor. So to build a floor, you need to open the build menu by pressing Q and then selecting right here the little basic flooring, and we can go ahead and place down just 2 of these are needed for us to place a workbench on top of it. So now when we place it down, it shows in blue, and we can go ahead and place our workbench on top of the floor. If we then press E to open up the workbench, we have all these different recipes available, and this one right here is the pickaxe. That's what we want to make first, but we need 3 stone to do that. So once we have the materials, we can go ahead and left click, and there we go. If we double left click, we make ourselves up the pickaxe. Now once you have that, head off to behind the NPC and you'll come to these rocks that you see right here. These are going to be the safest rocks for you to access at this stage of the game, and we can go ahead and parkour our way up here a little bit. These will be the safest rocks for you to access at this stage of the game, and if you go ahead and go into the rocks a bit, you'll find some ore that you can mine. So a little bit of parkouring, and boom, we found ourselves this right here, which we can now use our pickaxe on, and we can see it because it's highlighted in green there. Realized I was actually using my axe on that. Be sure to use your pickaxe and not your axe. That is a great tip as well. Now when we destroy this, we can go ahead and pick up all the stuff that drops from it, and that includes both flint and rock in differing amounts. And there's some more ore up here, so we can go ahead and mine this while we're up here. And there we go, we got a frozen flame and a level up from doing that. So as you play the game, you will start to get these extra frozen flames, and I'm going to show you what they can be used for in just a moment. But for now, we're going to come over here and give the flint back to Hornhead over here, and he's going to be pretty happy with us and give us some rewards. And the next quest is going to tell us to reach the portal, and if we open up the map here, you'll see it's a little bit further away, and before we do this quest, we need to get ourselves prepared. So you want to unlock this recipe right here, because we are going to need to make ourselves up a sword, as this is very useful to us, especially in the early game. Once again, you can find yourself some rocks. These ones are rocks that are opposite the NPC, so the NPC trader is just over there. We set up over here, and we've got these rocks here we can come and explore. And by coming and exploring these rocks and using our pickaxe on these highlighted ones, this is going to be the fastest way for us to get a lot of stone. Plus, of course, we get the flint for doing it as well. Now, I suggest you do about 3 of these before you head back to your camp, because we don't want to waste too much time. Nighttime in this game does get a little bit trickier, as some of the mobs that don't attack you during the day will attack you at night. So in total, I got myself 14 stone and 10 flint, and I'm now going to head back to the camp, but I might see some things on the way. So there we go, 15 stone, and there's some more down here. But that gives you a rough idea on the numbers that you're looking at getting, and again, throughout the game, especially the early game, we are just picking up everything we see as we go. So with these resources, we go back to the workbench, we've unlocked the sword recipe, and that's going to be the first thing that we go ahead and make. Another really useful early game item is the bow right here. So let's go ahead and make one of those as well. You need a bit of fiber and some branches to do that, but if you've been collecting everything and completing the quests, you should have this by now. Just to say, the bow doesn't require arrows. Once you've made the bow, you can just fire arrows that are just in the game at any point. Now at this stage, I'm also able to make these ragged hand wraps, so I'm going to go ahead and make those up as well. And by wearing those, we get some extra armor points, which is all just going to help us out in the long run. I then want to go ahead and get into a bit of cooking. So we're going to go ahead and start cooking up this right here. Now I recommend that you make up 3 of these before you go and venture out. So all you need are 3 of these apples. I'll show you how to get those right now. So if we run around to behind this NPC, you'll see these fruit trees right here, and they do of course have the apples on them. So you just run up to one of those and hold down E in order to gather them. And look at that, we got 4 there just from the one tree. Now you can just eat these apples as well on their own, but obviously if you cook them, you turn them into a better food. Now at this stage, we are ready to head off towards the portal, which is obviously over in this direction here. But before we do so, as we come through this little fence right here, so there's the NPC, we come through that fence here, we want to go off to the right to this thing over here. And then if we press E, we can go ahead and pray, and this opens up a research tree, which as you can see is a very large research tree. Now the first thing you'll do is this hero's ancestry, which is the middle one right here, and that will give us the possibility to use combat energy, which I'll talk about later. But let's go ahead and upgrade to that. And you see that unlocks 3 other things, so that you can then start choosing different directions to go off in. So this is what you're going to spend your frozen flames doing in order to give yourself some better stats. Now an easy way to get an extra stat to spend before you head off is to come back to this thing that we saw earlier. Now if I activate this, I have to go to 3 rune stones that are nearby in order to collect the energy from them, and then that'll complete sort of like a mini quest and gives me an extra frozen flame point. However, while I'm doing that, these blue things here are going to attack us. Now they won't attack me when I'm just walking around before I've activated this, unless it is nighttime. So at nighttime, these change color and they will attack you. Now what they'll do is actually a ranged attack where they shoot at you. So what I recommend is you come over here where we've got some coverage of the walls from these other ones, and then just start to hit them before you do the quest. You see here, they're pretty easy to kill. That one only took 3 hits with a sword. This one looks like it's going to be the same. If we can do that. Okay, this one's going to be a 4th one. There we go. But then their friends do start to attack us, and that's when it can get a little bit dangerous. However, if you strafe like reasonably quickly, then you're not actually going to get hit too often by them. So that, coupled with the fact that they are quite easy to kill, means I recommend that you do go ahead and kill a load of these early on into the game. Of course, we're going to make our sword and have other things on us, like our food and our armor, before we do this, but once you're at this stage of the game, it shouldn't be too difficult. Now, if they do get a few hits on you, go ahead and run behind a wall to get some cover and just double click on your food in order to eat it. It doesn't take long to do it, and it will give you a lot of health regen. Bear in mind that there is a cooldown on food, which you can see on the left hand side right now, as this food is green and it's slowly going down, but it does take a long time to do it. And you won't be able to eat again until this has been done. So make sure that you're not going to get too hurt before you're able to eat again, otherwise you won't be able to heal. So we've unlocked combat energy, and I'll show you what that is right now. If I go ahead and hold down left click, then boom, he does this big attack. Now you don't want to miss like I did right there, but these attacks obviously do a lot of extra damage, and then they have a bit of a cooldown, which you can see right now just above where the stamina bar would be. So I went ahead and killed a load of these, and some of them remain here like this, and you can walk up to them and press E to loot, and we get these things from them. So these are magic seeds, and they can be used later on for planting and growing into things, which is actually quite useful to the early to mid game. So you want to go ahead and loot all of the dead bodies in this area and get all those magic seeds for later on. Now it's worth mentioning as well that even if you do die this early on into the game, it really doesn't matter. You're going to respawn pretty close, and you can run back to your gravesite in order to get yourself the resources that you lost, or the frozen flame thing that you'll lose when you die. Now it looks like there's one guy left up there. I'm just going to go ahead and get my bow out and do a ranged attack. So you just hold down left click to do these and just aim slightly above where you want it to be, and boom, there we go. We managed to land that shot on him. Now he's a bit aggro at us, but we can just keep hitting him, and there we go. We managed to kill him, and we've in fact leveled up and got a frozen flame. Now he didn't actually drop any loot, which is fine, but this is why I recommend you go ahead and kill all those guys. It's not too difficult. You're really not going to lose much if you do happen to die, but by killing them all, you're going to get yourself an extra frozen flame to use and unlock more abilities. Also, make sure you come behind this wall right here and get this little treasure chest right here. Let's go ahead and open that, and we got ourselves an energy potion, which is awesome. So you want to keep an eye out for these little chests throughout the game, but that's just a free one I'm giving you there to make sure you go and get early on. So now we have the extra frozen flame point. We're going to run back over to this altar over here, and we're going to once again pray. And we now have three options. This one right up here to give us additional stamina, this one here for additional health, and this one here to increase the accumulation rate of your combat energy. Now, depending on how you play it, I highly recommend you go for either stamina or health, but my personal preference is to get the additional stamina. And of course, every time you unlock something, it gives you the ability to unlock other things. Now, however, we're going to run back to this little thing over here, and we're going to activate this, and we can now go and activate all of the rune stones without those blue blob things attacking us. So we hold down E in order to activate this, and it says you have to find all the nearby rune stones, and that blue thing sort of counts down. So as you can see, the first one, we just come over here, hold down E, and we consume that. If we then turn around, the other one is directly behind us through this little gate right here, so we're going to go ahead and activate this one as well. And the final one is just over near this thing right here to the right hand side, and there it is right there. So we go ahead and hold down E to consume that as well. So with all of those complete, we gave ourselves a ton of extra points, and we're almost up to an extra level. We just need to kill a couple more enemies or just get a couple more experience points in order to do that. Now this wall right here, you want to run up here and just go across here, because there is another treasure chest here, and it's worth getting that opened as well before you head on. And there we go, we got a health potion from that one. So what I would recommend now, if you're in a similar situation to me where you've only got a few more points that you need in order to get an extra unlock, is to go and get that unlock before we head off towards the portal. So by venturing out across this bridge, you will start to encounter new enemies pretty quickly. I think there's one just over in this direction. Actually, I'll go and find them and show you how to attack them. So there is an enemy just over here, and you see I've got my bow out, and let's just walk around so we can see him, but see him from a bit of a distance. Okay, there he is. So let's come over here like this. Then we're just going to use our bow to attack so that we can get some damage done to this guy before he actually sees us and comes over. Now he's actually ranged as well, so it should be pretty easy for us to just kind of slowly strafe and mind out the way of any attacks he does towards us. And as you can see, you don't have to strafe all that fast to defeat these guys. They'll just stand there shooting at you, but they're pretty slow as they do it. So there we go, we managed to kill him. Let's come over here and see if we're able to loot him, and we are. So let's grab the stuff from him there. Now one more enemy should just about do it, so I'm going to go ahead and kill one extra enemy and get the points from that so that we can get our extra frozen flame. And there we go, we're up to level 4 now. So at this stage we can go over here and see what else we want to update for our stats, and I recommend that you go ahead and gain the additional health, as that is going to be very useful throughout the game, and it'll also give these extra options then as you progress through the game. Now as your weapons and tools start to use some durability, you can go over to your workbench, open it up and click repair, and then start repairing things by double left clicking them. This is much cheaper than making new weapons and tools, so it's a good idea to do that before they break. Now as it starts turning towards nighttime and getting darker, if you're still around this area and you see these blue things, I recommend that you go up and attack them. The reason we're going to do that is they're very easy to kill during the day, as they don't attack you first. So you can run up, get the first hit on them, and you've got a few hits on them before you even know it. This is much better than nighttime when they turn into red blobs, and then they will actually attack attack you first, and at that stage you can have a lot of them attacking you, and it can be a little tricky to deal with. It can be a good idea to make up a wooden crate. You see, you're going to need a few logs to do this, but then you can leave things with you before you journey off. This is good because you have a certain carry capacity within the game, and once that's reached, you won't be able to pick up any new items, and there are a lot of things that there's really no point taking with you. Now, it does need to be placed on a floor, but we can actually get it just on the edge here, right next to our workbench, and we can open that up and put anything away that we don't need to take. And then, of course, this stuff will be here whenever we need to come and collect it later on. Now, if you want to remove things from the crate, we can press E to open it, and if I double left click on the stack of planks, for example, then it takes them all out. However, if I shift left click on the planks, or the branches I should say here, then you can choose an exact number that you want to withdraw. The same goes for putting things into the chest. We can choose an exact number to put in, or just double left click to put in the entire stack. So this is how to get off to the best start in your first day on Frozen Flame, in my opinion. I really hope that this video helped. If it did, please do consider liking and subscribing for more content. But for now, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.